Hi, everyone. This is a CBS2 News update. I'm Jessica Layton. We start with breaking news this afternoon. Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy is retiring, giving President Donald Trump the chance to cement conservative control of the high court. The 81-year-old Kennedy is stepping down after more than 30 years on that court. The Republican appointee has held the key vote on such high-profile issues as abortion, affirmative action, gay rights, guns, campaign finance, and voting rights. Also breaking, a broad immigration bill just failed in the House, 301 to 121. It failed due to Republican divisions and solid Democratic opposition. The failed vote came despite President Trump tweeting his 11th hour support. The bill would have given some immigrants brought illegally to the U.S. as children a chance for citizenship. The bill would have also financed President Trump's proposed border wall with Mexico and curbed the separation of migrant families. Also breaking right now, Joe Jackson, the patriarch of the Jackson family, has passed away. According to his family, the 89-year-old was battling terminal cancer and took a turn for the worse last week. Joe was the father of the late music legend Michael Jackson and is best known for managing his son's group, the Jackson 5. He also helped launch solo careers for his children, Janet and Randy Jackson. Joe was married to his wife, Catherine, since 1949. Now to a final goodbye to an innocent victim of gang violence. Pallbearers dressed in Yankees jerseys carried the casket of 15-year-old Lisandro Guzman Feliz into a Bronx church for his funeral this morning. Police say gang members dragged the teen from a Belmont bodega last Wednesday and stabbed him in a case of mistaken identity. The memorial outside that bodega is growing each day. You can see flowers, candles, and other mementos stream down the block in honor of that murdered teen. CBS2's Natalie Dudridge has more.
It was a packed funeral service filled with emotion. It's been 1 week since the teen known as Junior was killed. He was remembered today as having a bright smile and for his volunteer work in the community. Calls for justice for Junior rang out as the casket with the body of 15-year-old Lisandro Guzman Feliz is carried by his father, wiping away tears. The teen's mother standing strong amidst her grief outside Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church, where the family regularly attended Mass, but today said goodbye to their beloved son, known as Junior. Emotion high, Junior's father was among loved ones wearing Yankees jerseys, a team Junior passionately cheered for. He is remembered as a cheerful kid who loved pepperoni pizza, video games, and had a passion to one day become a police officer.
He wanted to save people, so that was his desire to become a cop.
But that goal was cut short. A priest close to the family says they're still trying to cope with Junior's horrific death. Fatally stabbed outside a Belmont bodega last week in a case of mistaken identity.
Here's a mother going through the most difficult thing that anybody could go through, and she is full of faith. She is full of resolve, certainly justice for Junior, but saying no to retaliation, saying no to vengeance.
No vengeance against 8 alleged Trinitarios gang members who police say chased Guzman Feliz down, believing he was the teen seen in a Snapchat video allegedly having sex with a cousin of one of the gang members. Cell phone video shows the teen running to reach the hospital 1 block away, but he collapsed and died outside the emergency room.
It's really affected me. I cry every single day. Like, I cry every single day because it's like you don't have to know somebody to feel the grief and the pain.
Justice for whom?
Every night since his death, the crowd grows outside the bodega where he was killed. And so does the candlelight vigil, so large it has shut down the street. The mourning now turning to calls for action to keep youth in the community safe and away from gang violence. The family calling for all those involved to be put behind bars for life. In the Belmont section of the Bronx, Natalie Dudridge, CBS2 News.
And as loved ones mourn, an update now on the investigation. 6 suspects arrested in New Jersey will be arraigned today after waiving extradition. Yesterday, police arrested an 8th suspect, Alvin Garcia, in this vicious attack. He's also expected to be arraigned later today. Meanwhile, 19-year-old Kevin Alvarez made his first appearance on charges, including second-degree murder. And now to a developing story in the Bronx. A mother and her 2-month-old baby rushed to the hospital after police say she jumped onto the subway tracks carrying that child. This happened around 9:30 this morning at the 149th Street station at Grand Concourse. Police say the woman ended up in the middle of the tracks and underneath the train, but was not hit by the train. Police are now trying to identify the mother, who is being held for a mental evaluation. They're also trying to find other relatives of the baby. In New Jersey now, a worker rescued from a trench. Chopper 2 video showing the man being taken from an ambulance and placed into a medevac in Branchburg this morning. We're told he's in serious condition at the hospital right now. The worker was in a gravel pit when a piece of equipment fell and trapped him. We're not sure what triggered a fire in the engine of an ambulance on the Upper West Side today, but we did see the damage done as it grew quickly, destroying 6 nearby cars. Here's CBS 2's Clark Foraker.
New video shows the moments the FDNY was trying to clear 73rd Street between Columbus and Amsterdam Avenues, worried an accidental fire could spread to cars with flammable gas tanks.
You could hear the cars coming down, popping as their gas tanks were blowing up.
Gabriel Milletta recorded the fire on his block. The fire started in the front end engine area of a Mount Sinai ambulance working a call. It grew so big, it jumped to at least 6 cars parked along the curb next to where the ambulance was on fire in the middle of the road.
I looked down and I could just see an entire, this huge amount of space that was just flaming, feet up into the air.
This one just right across the street, you could just see it suddenly, boom, went straight up. And that's when I got a little freaked out.
It escalated pretty quickly.
Thankfully, none of the buildings along this block were burned, but the fire was so large and hot, it did burn through an awning that was right next to the cars that were on fire.
It was totally burned through, just looked insane, apocalyptic.
Billy Streby's car was parked on the street just 2 back from where the fire was burning.
First, I just moved, so I have my entire life in the back of this car, and I just got really lucky.
The burned cars and ambulance have been towed. No one was injured. On the Upper West Side, Clark Foraker, CBS 2 News.
The Department of Sanitation threw sand to clean the oil and debris off 73rd Street, and it's now back open. We still don't know what caused that fire. Dozens of arrests now in a first-of-its-kind operation targeting vendors on the dark web. The year-long nationwide operation involving several federal agencies resulted in the arrests of at least 35 Darknet vendors. Agents with the New York field of Homeland Security posed as money launderers on Darknet market sites and were able to identify several vendors of illicit goods across the country. Over $23 million was seized, as well as more than 100 firearms and tens of thousands of illicit narcotics, including synthetic opioids, fentanyl, and Xanax. The incredibly popular video game Fortnite is free to play, but it's still generating millions of dollars in revenue. Epic, the maker of the game, says it took in $318 million in May. Over 3 months, it took in $800 million. The game makes money through in-game purchases as players customize their avatars. One study says almost 70% of Fortnite players spent money on the game, averaging about $84 each. And now here's John Elliott with the weather.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Oldies channel. No, we just like to have fun. We like to have fun. It's a digital world. You see the wow, you share it now. So I want to let you know, we've got some changes. Clouds are filling in, and we've got numbers still in the 70s today. So it's going to be a cool day, but we're dealing with showers, and then we've got some thunderstorms to deal with overnight. So you talk about rain, you talk about clouds. You think, why in the world, would anybody wear sunglasses? But it is National Sunglasses Day. So, it's important to protect your eyes. The UV index today, even with the clouds, is an 8, so you have to protect your pupils. Make sure your pupils stay safe. Tomorrow, you know what? Sunglasses do get a break because you're dodging drops. You're going to be dealing with these thunderstorms on and off. Some of them could be, briefly heavy, some gusty winds, brief heavy rain, and we do need the rain. It's at a 2-inch deficit for the city. Then on Friday, it's a hot finish. Not only do you have the sunglasses on, the long pants are off. Here's a tip. You do not want to see me in shorts. So, yeah, you might want to avoid me because it's going to be so hot. 91 on Friday. And then wait, I think I may get the tank top out this weekend. That's another thing you do not want to see me in. Ooh, I know. It's awful to even think of it. So you've got 91 on Friday, but it's not too humid. Woo! This weekend, not only is it hot, but it is humid. So just make sure that you keep you cool, man.
Loving the glasses, John. Thank you. And do you think this food fad would be popular in New York? This is a glitter pizza. A restaurant in Santa Monica, California is combining a cheese pizza with edible glitter. Diners there are gobbling it up. So what do you think? Weigh in on Instagram at CBS New York. That's your CBS2 News update this afternoon. Stay with us online, on social media, and on TV for all the very latest updates. I'm Jessica Layton. Have a great day.